After 8 years, Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost. He's added over $600 billion of inflationary debt, more debt than all prior prime ministers combined, doubling our debt. He's flooded our economy with easy money, which has bid up the cost of the goods we buy and the interest we pay. On top of that, he's brought in a massive carbon tax on gas, heat, and everything that is transported by truck. The consequences have been devastating. Trudeau has given us the worst inflation of any prime minister since his dad 40 years ago. And interest rates are now rising faster than at any time in Canadian monetary history. These are not just numbers. These are humans' lives that Justin Trudeau is screwing up. 2 million people forced to go to a food bank in a single month, a record-smashing number. Because the average mortgage payment is up over 150%, people are losing their homes. And because more and more people are incapable of buying homes due to these high prices, they're all clamoring to compete for a diminished supply of apartments, driving the rent up to record levels. Last month, yet another record rent increase after Trudeau promised to bring rent down. This is forcing middle-class people into homelessness. We've never had middle-class homeless crisis like that we do now today. We're talking about nurses and carpenters who live in their cars. This would have been unimaginable before Justin Trudeau, as would the tent cities we now see in every major town in our country. We learned the other day that Halifax has 30 homeless encampments. One city with 30 homeless encampments. We would never have even imagined something like that could happen in Canada before Justin Trudeau. Yet, these are the consequences of his policies, which tax, print, and borrow money, driving up the cost on everybody. It's very simple. The government is rich and the people are poor after 8 years of Justin Trudeau. And what does he do with the money? He spent $54 million on an ArriveCan app we didn't need, didn't work, and could have been designed in a weekend by a couple of IT experts. It's now under criminal investigation. He blew $1 billion on a so-called green fund, whose bureaucrats now admit it's more like the sponsorship scandal. The chair of the fund gave her own company $200,000 in grants. That too is under investigation. And now we learn that his multi-billion-dollar grants to foreign companies may be funding as many as 1,500 jobs that won't be going to Canadians, but instead to temporary foreign workers. The Poilievre government will make sure that every time the government supports jobs in Canada, it will be exclusively for Canadians. Now, the fall economic update is coming. Justin Trudeau must reverse the inflationary policies that have driven people out of their homes, driven interest rates up, and caused mass despair and misery. So our specific demands are as follows. 1, we're calling on Trudeau to cancel his planned quadrupling of the carbon tax. You heard that right. Trudeau plans to quadruple the carbon tax. I will axe the tax, but in the meantime, until such time as we can have a carbon tax election that I will win, I propose a compromise. No more hikes. Don't quadruple the tax, Mr. Trudeau. People can't afford it. 2, bring down interest rates and inflation by balancing the budget. A year ago, Mr. Trudeau had promised a balanced budget by the year 2028. 6 months later, he announced he was breaking that promise. And all the extra spending that he piled on in the subsequent period has caused inflation to start rising again, forcing the Bank of Canada to keep interest rates high. We have $900 billion of mortgages set to renew into these higher rates over the next 3 years. We have an emergency on our hands to bring rates down before those mortgages renew. So I'm calling on Justin Trudeau to balance the budget so that we can bring down inflation and interest rates. Finally, My third demand is for the government to adopt my plan to build homes, not bureaucracy. Justin Trudeau has a gigantic photo op fund where he sends his minister on a traveling circus, giving out grants to local politicians in exchange for them giving him credit for housing that was already going to be built. The evidence is that this fund is not building any new homes because housing starts are actually down since the program came into place. What's happening is the money is going to build more bureaucracy. We don't need more bureaucracy. We need a simple mathematical formula that incentivizes cities to get out of the way, speed up permits, free up land to build, build, build. Let's require municipalities permit 15% more home building per year, every year, in order to get federal money. Those that beat the target should get a bonus. Those that miss it should get a fine. This incentive will clear the way and speed up permits so that we can build, build, build. After 8 years of Trudeau, we have the fewest homes per capita in the G7, even though we have the most land to build on. Let's get building now so that our youth, our working class, and our newcomers can put roof overhead. This is common sense. The common sense of the common people united for our common home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home. Thank you.